Hey champs, Michael J, Yoga Biz Champ here, and today I am bringing you a conversation that's really close to my heart. I'm sitting down with someone I've worked with for years, someone I've watched grow, lead, and step fully into her role as a yoga studio owner, the amazing Vani Shukla from Yoga Spirit Studios, Torrensville in Adelaide, Australia. And you're about to hear the real journey of a teacher with deep traditional roots from India who purchased a legacy yoga studio and slowly, steadily made it her own. We're talking about the cultural shifts, the team dynamics, the schedule changes, the rebrand, the wins, the setbacks, all of it. And I love sharing a story like this because these stories show what's possible when you decide you're ready to grow, when you're ready for support, and when you're brave enough to take ownership of the business and the vision. So whether you're already running a yoga studio or you're dreaming about opening one someday, grab your tea or put your headphones on, settle in, and let's get into this beautiful conversation with Vani. Welcome, Vani, from Yoga Spirit in Australia, and I am thrilled to have you here today. Before I let you speak, I need to just say that Vani has been a long-time client of mine, studio client, studio owner that purchased a studio. But if anyone knows Vani and I feel like we have, don't tell Kuldeep this, but we have a bit of a love relationship too.
Sometimes my husband will try to let me know what I'm talking with my.
But I don't know. I think we worked together for almost 4 years. And so for every afternoon, on my Tuesday afternoon and your Wednesday early morning in Australia, we've met weekly for many years. And so we've seen ups and downs, and the whole story has changed. Brand changes over time, and you are now a studio owner that stands on your own two bare feet in that studio as an amazing boss. And so this is Vani. I'm so thrilled to have you here to share your story with other studio owners. And we've been through a lot together. So I'm just really thrilled to have you here today.
Thank you so much, Michael, for your warm welcome. And as you mentioned, we worked almost 3.5 years together, and lots of learnings, lots of pushing from Michael, and lots of pressure sometime, I would say, because we were meeting weekly. So you used to give me the targets that you have to do it by next week. And then, okay, just one night before I'm sitting and finishing because I have to see Michael this morning.
There's an accountability to weekly meeting, right? That's why things
Yes.
kind of keep moving forward.
Yes. And absolutely, the win of the week used to be my highlight of our meeting because I was so excited. Oh, what I'm going to share with Michael about win.
Yeah, so for folks listening, I like to start calls with what is a win for the week, because it starts because you're right. You have to think about, oh, what are the positives that happen this week, right? And then we start on a positive as well, and then we dig into the problems a bit later.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to just read your bio because what I'd like you to tell is your kind of story. So I think your bio is a good start to that story. Is that okay?
Sure.
I grew up in a traditional Hindu Brahmin family where yoga was woven into everyday life. But my real journey began at 18 during one of my hardest times of my life. I lost both of my parents that year. And in the midst of overwhelming grief and questions about life's meaning, I turned to yoga. It became my sanctuary, a space where I could breathe, heal, reconnect with myself. Since then, yoga has been so much more than a practice. It's been my path. I began teaching in 2005, earned a master's in yoga therapy, and a bachelor's in nutrition and clinical dietitians, and deepened my studies with mystics and gurus in the Himalayan yoga tradition. What lights me up most is sharing the quieter, deeper layers of yoga, its philosophy, its stillness, its power to transform from the inside out. When I took over Yoga Spirit Studio, my vision was simple to create a space that feels like home, a space rooted in compassion, community, and presence, where people of all backgrounds and bodies feel welcome, supported, and seen. Outside the studio, I love Indian classical dancing, cooking, nourishing meals, and wandering through nature or planning my next adventure.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, I'd love to tell how can you talk about your path with yoga? Um, kind of your path, how you started, and to kind of briefly where you are now. But it was part of your daily life. Um,
Yes, so how we see yoga in our traditions is that just being on the mat or just being on the yoga asana forms is not just a practice. So if you are doing a chanting, if you are having some self-study time, scriptures studies, so that is also part of the yoga practice only. So as I mentioned that I belong to a scholar family where since childhood my mother will teach me how to chant mantras.
right.
My grandfather will tell the stories from the scriptures, or perhaps he will ask me to have read about this chapter of Bhagavad Gita and come back to him and ask about the questions and meanings or explain about it. So my grandfather was actually really strict about that,
Ah,
and want to make sure that kids learn about their culture and their roots. So this is how it all started, and I still remember I was very kind of a volunteer for these activities. So I never used to run away. Like I remember my brother and sister will hide from my grandparent or
ah,
oh yeah, because they want to just go out and play. They don't
yeah,
want to
yeah,
listen all these stories. But I was kind of a volunteer for that, and I will just go and sit and listen. I used to enjoy that, and this is from my childhood memories actually. I did not know I'm practicing yoga. I was
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
interested in that. And if my mother has put some quote or something in Sanskrit, I will just learn it by heart by reading it, not
yeah,
even trying to learn it from someone, but I will just learn it myself because I'm so interested into it. Or
yeah. That
just
may you're. I feel like you are a never-ending student.
yeah.
Like everything you
Or
do, you go research and go to school how to do it.
yes, so my mother used to be a proud mom, and she will take me to the relative. She can chant this whole verse, and then she will ask me to chant in front of them.
Ah,
So as a 6, 7 years old, if I can chant like, a whole verse of some scripture, that is like,
yeah.
very nice, especially in Sanskrit. So, uh,
Interesting that you're volunteering now into your community for all the festivals and big events. Interesting that that's still part of you.
yes, yes, it's a big part of my
Yeah, yeah,
life. So that is how I remember like my interest towards these philosophies. And then I remember when I was growing up, I was a science student. So my father was like, that maybe you can choose to become a doctor. And then I actually started preparing myself for that, and took my focus towards the science studies and all. But my heart was always with learning about the classical dancing, learning
yeah.
about the text, and Sanskrit was in my schooling. So I was always studying Sanskrit as part of my subject. So my heart was there, but my mind was like studying
Huh.
really science thing. So that kept going, and then in the middle of everything, I lost my parents, and then I just graduated myself from nutrition and dietetics, and could not carry on the path of becoming a doctor or something. And when this happened, actually, still remember how it happened, like a proper training into yoga, breathing, and asanas. How it all started was like a friends group was sitting there, and they were talking how about the tragedy, and are you feeling okay? Do you need any help? And I said, I just don't feel a great mood of anything. I'm doing things, but I just don't enjoy doing anything at all. So my friend's mother suggested me that I'm going to a yoga teacher. Maybe you would like to explore and practice. So what I thought that I will just go there, practice for 1 or 2 months, learn some, now just nowadays we have yoga for digestion, yoga for stress, yoga for.
Yeah.
I just thought I will take a little package, come back and just practice myself. But then I went there, I just started and never ended. So that this is back 2003,
Yeah.
and that was my first introduction to the official training to yoga classes. And it used to be in open grounds, grass
Yeah.
on the grass, with our bed sheets. So I used to take a bed sheet from home, put it on the plastic cover so that it doesn't get wet with the grass, and then just practice raw on that. So
So no $140 Manduka
mats,
mat.
yes. And no to $100 Lululemon leggings. That might be my whole year budget actually to spend on yoga for the whole year, $200. So
Well, who were the teachers, elders, and traditions that shaped you?
yeah, so that is started from the Satyanand tradition, which is Bihar Yoga Bharati. So Shivananda, Swami Shivananda, who started this lineage, had two gurus, two disciples, and one disciple was Satyanand Saraswati, who was in Bihar, and the other one was Muktanand, who was towards the New Delhi and Kerala. So Muktananda started his school as the name of Shivananda Yoga, which is
Yep.
today known as Shivananda
Yep.
Yoga.
Yep.
And Swami Satyanand Saraswati started as Bihar Yoga Bharati, which
Yeah.
is also very popular tradition actually. So my teacher was trained under Swami Satyanand Saraswati, who is from Shivananda. So Swami Shivananda was the main guru, and then two disciples. So this was the lineage which I was following. Um, After completing 2 years in Kriya Yoga diploma with them, then I started doing 2005. I
Now,
started.
did you hear that, folks? 2 years, not 200 hours.
Yes, so that after completing that 2 years, I went another training, which was my master's of yoga sciences from a medical college, because as I told you, I had a science background and I was very
Yeah.
interested in
Yeah.
science as well. So I thought, okay, let's do a little bit more thorough studies about it. But in that master's of yoga sciences, that was again 2 years whole degree. uh, I studied lot of scriptures as well. So Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Samkhya philosophy, Bhagavad Gita. These were the primary texts which we studied along with Upanishads and stuff. So lots of theory, because it was like 8 hours every day. You have to practice 2 hours of yogasanas, 1 hour of pranayam, 1 hour of dhyana, and plus all the philosophy. So it
Wow.
was
Yeah.
whole curriculum like that for 2 years,
Yeah.
just like you go to college.
That's an immersion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took that 2 years of whole study. So total 4 years of study when I did. After that only I stepped into yoga room to teach as a teacher.
Did you do that in India or?
Yes, everything in
Yeah.
India.
Yeah.
So first Kriya Yoga diploma I did from North India, and then for MSc Yoga Therapy I went to Manipal University in South India. After completing that, I came back to North India because my home was there. So I started working around. Lucknow is my birthplace where I brought up. And I was working in different cities, New Delhi, Ludhiana, different cities, just working. And meanwhile, I also started visiting Rishikesh because that was closer to my hometown. And when I was traveling to Rishikesh, just trying in different ashrams, where I
Mm.
can get some more wisdom. So this time, not knowledge. This time, I was looking for wisdom. And I was perhaps 22 or 23 years old at.
Wow. Wow.
So I thought, okay, this is the time for have some wisdom now. I have all the knowledge. So I was looking for it, and then I came across to this beautiful, lovely Himalayan yoga tradition, which is just I can't say thanks enough to this lineage. And I just fell in love with that. I'm like, oh, this is what feels so right to me. And
What was it?
everything, Michael, everything. The meditation room, hall, the teachers, everything like was so good. And I find myself very fortunate to started in 2008 with them because of course the teacher are not no more
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
teachers
yeah,
are no
yeah,
more.
yeah,
So I feel very fortunate to have those teachers. Like my own Guru Swami Veda Bharti is no more, and he left his body in 2016. So I just find myself very fortunate to be introduced at that age in
mm,
when all the teachers were there. I mean, they I still have very good teachers.
yeah.
But it's always what you get first. You find it
I
very
I
precious.
love that I've known you for this long and I never knew this story. I love this. I love knowing this about you. How did that take you to Australia?
Okay, yeah. So I was working in New Delhi that time, and the lifestyle was very conflicted with my inclinations towards. Yes, the good part was Rishikesh was very close, so I could visit my ashram very
Yeah,
frequently and could stay longer there. But when I come back and in my work culture, I was not really inclining with that at all. My values, my
yeah,
thought process, I was just pushing myself because I have to earn and my living and survive. So
yeah,
that was kind of like a very survival mode. And then I thought, oh, it's time to a little bit explore more. And then I applied my permanent residentship for Australia, which I got in 1.5 years' time, staying
mm,
in India itself. And then I thought, okay, let's go. If it works out, it's fine. Otherwise, I just come back. So I moved here and started working as a freelancer. So moving from one studio to the other
yeah,
studio by bus.
yeah,
Each 1 hour class, I used to travel for 2 hours with the buses. And 5 years I kept doing as a freelancing with different studios. And 2021, so 2015 was the year when I moved to Australia,
yeah.
and it was totally unknown adventure. I have no idea what's going to be there.
So how did you come? Because you purchased an existing studio. So
Mhm.
how did you? Where was the bridge? Like, how did you? Were you practicing at this studio? Because it's been there for how long now?
So this
Yoga Spirit.
studio, Yoga Spirit, is the first yoga studio in Adelaide. In
Yeah,
2002, it was established, and I'm the third owner of this business. And this is the first studio who provided the proper space for people, having proper timetable. And so this studio has seen a lot of journey of yoga industry, I would say,
yeah.
um, to
It's
grow.
a legacy. It's been around.
Yeah, so it
Same as
has
my
seen
studio is
how,
still there.
yeah,
Third
moving
owner.
from community centers to a
Ah,
space
yeah, yeah,
having proper timetable, because before early 2000, it was only people were teaching from their basements and
yeah, yeah. Same in
having
Vancouver.
maybe having three classes or just four classes in a week. That's it. So this was the first studio who was offering beginners yoga course, who was offering yoga teachers training programs. So all these things were brought into Adelaide, because Adelaide is uh, now it's growing. Of course, now it's a very growing city, but back 2002 it was like a small
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
So that is how it is all started journey. So actually 2021 I bought a house near to this studio, and after 2 months I see the in the advertisement that it is on sale.
Ah,
So I'm like, that's really funny, because I just moved in here and I never thought this studio going to be. But COVID was the reason actually for the studio to shut down.
yeah.
So after COVID, it was very hard for the
Yeah.
studio
Well, a
to
lot of
recover.
studios didn't make it, or
Yeah,
yeah.
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 So it was hard to recover, and that was the reason. So I actually, after purchasing the studio, within 3 weeks, I had another lockdown. So I was getting all these texts from my
Oh,
friends. "Oh, I feel bad for you," and I'm like, it's okay. I knew this can happen.
did you have a feeling of, because I had this in the meant to be's, like the how things appear as they're meant to. You
Mhm.
move there, it was for sale. It probably, I don't know the price. We don't need to talk about that, but it was probably cheaper
Yeah,
than it would be
yeah,
if it was at full capacity, right?
absolutely.
So I feel like sometimes these magical journeys are just, if you follow it and follow the signs, you know I feel that with a lot of studio owners that I meet, that the signs presented themselves.
Mhm. And I know when we were discussing that how this podcast is going to be, there was one question where it is like how I chose you or how I met
Yeah,
you as
yeah,
well. So I think that is why you are coming across to these kind of yoga studios, because I think I can relate that with my journey. So when after running 1 year, spending all this money on a agency for marketing and stuff, I was getting all these people, but they were not the right people, so the retention rate was very low.
so not
So
qualified, because I remember, I believe you were selling a ton of these passes online, but there
yeah.
were people that were not in close by.
Yes, yes, right.
Yeah.
And also people who have different interests. So I have a traditional yoga school, I have slow flow classes, I have lots of yin classes, restorative classes, and very less like vinyasa classes I only provide as a facility. So it's not vinyasa or flow based studios. So I think nowadays people just love flow. So I think the crowd who was coming was not looking the same thing which I was offering. So the retention rate was not great. So, and I was talking this agency, and agency always have, oh, you see, there's so
So
many
they
people. Um,
so they thought they were going to come get a vinyasa hot sweaty flow, and then it's
yeah,
a more traditional
yes.
yoga experience, and
They
so there
have
was
to sit.
a mismatch, a
Yeah, they
mismatch of
have to sit and
expectations.
think actually. So they were, because normally what people say about, oh, when I go to yoga, I forget about everything. But this is not why you go to a yoga class to
Yeah,
forget
yeah,
thing. You go to a yoga
yeah,
class
yeah.
to
And if
find
do I
out.
remember? Do I remember it being, if I remember correctly, it being advertised to it was quite a younger crowd coming in, and then they were sitting around quite an older crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mm.
yeah,
So this is when I realized that I need a mentor to have the business head, because I have always studied yoga, I taught yoga, I know everything, not everything, but at least the teaching part, how to deliver a good class, I know
yeah.
about that, but the business side, I
Yeah.
actually
I'm going to
know.
stop you here, though. Before you go into how you decided to hire this amazing coach, I want to know, I want to go back a little bit, because we missed a little bit there that I think is interesting about, um, you purchased an existing studio. So I
Mhm.
think this is important because other people purchase studios, and sometimes it's really seamless, sometimes it's not, and sometimes challenges come up.
Mhm.
I want to go back a little bit just to that period when you bought a studio. So I kind of want to know, what was that feeling of, you know, there was a previous owner that's now gone. And then you're coming in, you're a new face to an existing business. And also it's a kind of, you're getting used to a new culture in Australia. So I kind of want to know, how was the feeling like with staff, with clients, and the schedule, like, because it was a certain way, right? That how was that period?
Yeah, so I think I did a good job or work there because I just did not step in and try to change everything because thankfully I had a friend who bought a physiotherapy business, ongoing business,
Yeah,
a few years back, and he shared his experience
yeah,
that as soon as he stepped in he started changing everything, which really irritated people, and there was a big fallout into customers, members, and staff. So I took that lesson from
yeah,
there, and when I stepped in, I did not started changing the timetable or started changing the teachers or changing everything. So I stepped in very slowly because I knew what I'm going to bring it is a totally different
yeah, yeah,
thing for them. Like for example, having an idol photograph, or a deity,
yeah. We
or
had big discussions about that.
about that,
Yeah,
yes, and
yeah,
the chantings. So I actually introduced all very slowly
yep.
so that people don't freak out that I'm trying to change their religion. uh, so I was mindful of that
Yeah,
thing. But certainly when I took over, it was not as similar as I expected.
yeah,
I thought everyone will be very accepting and they will be very happy and this and that, but this is not the case. You get lots of what you say, um, judgments. You get lots of
pushback.
critiques and pushbacks
Yeah,
for doing even as a small thing
anything,
as
anything you did,
anything you do.
anything you did, you upset
Yeah,
people. Yeah, I remember.
you upset people, you upset staff. Why I'm changing classes. So all the classes used to be like 90 minutes in the morning and 90
Yeah,
minutes in the end. However, the trend is changing. People don't have 90 minutes to spend. So that those things we refined together
yeah,
actually, and
yeah,
those bold decisions. So when I took over, I was not able to make bold decisions
yeah,
because of the
yeah,
fear I had. And that absolutely pushed me down and keeping me on the backside actually. And that all we recovered as we started mentoring together.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So you chose that. How did you? I didn't even know how you found me. Can you remember?
Yes, yeah, I remember. So I used to have a reception help, and I just was chatting with her, and I said I feel I need a mentor, and she suggested someone from Melbourne. And at the same time, I also is scared that I don't want to have a mentor who is always talking about the sales and change this and change that, because I know, if you convert it into fitness yoga, it will sell like hot cake. So I was like afraid if I get that kind of mentor and they start talking me in that language, and that will not reflect to me, I will not be able to sell that and they will be disappointed. So when I had this Melbourne lady, I had a chat and she was like, no, I'm not really comfortable in her language. The basics were not there, all only very heavy stuff. So I was overwhelmed and I said no, and then I put it in the mind body. Actually that time I was using mind body. So
Yeah.
in my mind body community I put this
So
that
you inherited my body with the
yeah,
purchase.
yeah,
Yeah,
I inherited
yeah,
mind body. And so I put a post over there that is mentoring important? Should we? I have mentor, and you commented on that.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, and you
Oh,
commented on that. Yes, absolutely, Vani. Mentoring really helps. I am a business coach, certified with Mind Body, and I'm happy to have this 30-minute session with you. So we had a chat, and that was like, as you said, we have kind of love affair, and it was love at first sight, actually. And I'm like, this is what I want, like someone who understands little bit of philosophy, little bit of, like, how, like, where I'm coming from, what I can offer, what I cannot offer, how much I can push myself, how much. So that balance I quickly find out when we had our first that 30 minutes chat.
yeah. And I think the winning, you've had so many successes and over the time, and I think the winning formula um, has been that you do the work. You know, we have a great conversation, and you come prepared. Like when I'm meeting Vani, I'm on my toes because you come and make use of the time with a whole bunch of questions, like
Mhm.
ready to go to make use of that time.
Mhm.
Right. And so, but then in between, you actually went and implemented the work. And when I said, you said before, you know, you're a lifelong student, what you did in our journey, I think mostly because of my marketing background, I think you like were ready to pick my brain on every single thing for marketing. But you went to school for that, and meaning you went to YouTube to learn how to do things. Like you literally became a mini me marketer. But you learn a lot about, you know, simple thing, call to actions, landing pages. Um, you went and learned how to do ads.
That's good. That's
You
good.
learned how to manage. Not
Mhm.
listen, folks, manage your Google ads, manage your Facebook ads. Like you learned how to do all of that, so that when you did hire other companies to do things, you knew what you were talking about, and you knew what to expect.
Yes, absolutely. So sometimes people having conversation with me and pitching their company or agencies to
Yeah.
me and never coming back because they realize she doesn't need us.
Yeah.
Or even if she will be on board, she will
Yeah.
be a hard one to
Yeah.
manage because, yeah. So I
Yeah.
did all that. That's true, Michael. And that was, I think, my another phase of learning where I learned all these things, and with support of you, of course, because you always guided that this is the trend, Vani. Can you look into it, and can you read about it, or you can have a, you always share the YouTube links and everything with me as well. Any content you found out that is good for me, you always share those informations with me, which was quite helpful because then I don't have to go and look for that.
Yeah.
It is already there. My job is just to have a look and study about it. So I did learn about all that statistics and things of marketing. Especially, I still remember my newsletters because you used to get my newsletters and you always have feedback. One is, no, this is not, you write it. And then I started, doing my newsletters in a better way, better language, better, attention. So there were lots of small things, I would say, which we, work together on that. I think even if we talk 24 hours, everything we cannot cover because it's been a three and a
Yeah.
half years journey. So and one thing I would like to mention, people, if who are listening, is that small things does matter. So do not ignore those small things, because when I say small things, I mean to say how you write your newsletter, what photograph or picture you are putting into that, or what you are putting into your social media. Everything, every word matters, because sometimes you hear from people, oh, you wrote that thing in the newsletter, I really loved it.
Yeah.
So some people say, some people don't say. So every small thing which is part of marketing or part of creating connection with your audience is important, I feel.
Let's get back to brand in a little bit because I think we can talk a little bit about your brand shifts. When you purchased the studio, I feel like the team dynamics are very different from when you first started to where you are now. Can you talk about that journey of kind of, I think, taking over a business and all of a sudden your boss and kind of the insecurities around that and, you know, maybe some pushback and maybe some support to now where I feel like Vani is a team lead and you have really great support from your teachers. Can you talk about that shift?
Yeah, so that in that thing, I would like to mention two things. One is how it was, and what changed I brought in myself. So change happened in both the sides, not just one side. So when I took over, so this studio has a legacy, but at the same time, they had a very strict rule that people who are trained with them can only teach in that studio.
Right.
Which did not really reflect with my openness towards the yoga teachings.
Yeah.
Or how I look my practice, or how I honor the and being respectful to other yoga teachers.
Yeah.
Like if someone has not studied in India, I won't look down on them. It depends what they can deliver as a yoga teacher and what their personality is as yoga teacher. So for me, those things are more important than thinking if they have not done yoga studies in my school, I cannot hire them. So that thing was there. So all the teachers were trained in yoga spirit and they were teaching there. Now, the good thing is that it brings uniformity, but at the same time, that takes away the diversity from the students.
Yep.
Students don't get to experience the personalities, the teachings which have been offered across the globe.
Yep.
So I was a bit stuck there that because myself I am not trained in yoga spirit, right?
Yeah.
and
you were stepping in to teach those classes too, where they had an expectation. Yeah.
And here I would like to mention that 2015 I moved Adelaide and I called Yoga Spirit and I said I wanted to apply for the yoga teaching, and of course the answer was no, because we only hire people who are trained here.
Right. And now you're the owner.
Yes, I always tell this to everyone. Don't be disappointed if you have been rejected. You never know. You become the owner of the place. So I tell my friends they did not allow me to teach, so I bought the business.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
So so that is the thing. So that I really changed into that. I started hiring new teachers,
and we also created an onboarding system where it was conversations up front, and also with the
expectations.
And with the remaining teachers too.
Yes.
I'm giggling.
Yeah.
I'm giggling because I don't know if Vani wants me to tell this story. I'm not sure, but there is, and I actually use this with my clients because there was a couple of teachers that gave you quite a bit of pushback. They were just difficult, but there were also teachers that wanted the luxury of going away for a long extended period of time. So let's just say sometimes the schedule changed while they were away for a long time.
Yes, so it was hard, and here I would say 100% Michael's help was very, very much appreciated. What I changed in myself, and that is again because we were having these mentoring sessions, and Michael put the confidence. So I always have been a very outward girl, and going out and asking myself, like moving a country is not something every second person does. So you can see that I don't have fear of anything, but
Yeah.
at the same time, when it comes dealing with people, I always feel like, oh, how to say that, how to do
Yeah.
that, how they
Yeah.
will feel.
Yeah.
So I always try to understand them more than thinking I need it or the business need it or the studio need it. So that was a big time.
I remember email saying, how do I reply to this question? How do I reply to this problem? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. So me being that uncomfortable
Yeah.
of dealing with the people was really a big barrier for me, though I'm a fearless person, but this is something
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I really get stuck,
Yeah.
and that we really worked out together. And so that was the change which I brought in myself, that I have to put the studio and the requirements first, and not hesitant to ask for the changes, even if it's a time slot or it's a duration, whatever it is, because when we decided to change from 90 minutes to 75 minutes, few teachers were
Yeah.
not happy with that, because
Yeah.
they did not learn that way, so they cannot teach less than 90 minutes. So that was another challenge. And so having all these tough conversations with the teachers and members and making those bold changes was
Yeah.
really the turning point.
And then can you also talk about, so that's the people side of things, the schedule. How would you say the schedule has changed from when we first started to where it is now? And I'm going to bring in one more thing that we've had so many conversations about, but traditional yoga. That's something, sometimes let's just say that Vani will roll her eyes at some of the fads, some of the trends and the fads, and she'll be like, oh yeah, well, they're hot yoga, they can pack them in, like, and so we've had lots of conversations about that. So how would you, because I feel like now your studio's fully I feel like at first it didn't feel like it was yours,
Hmm.
right? And I feel now, you're fully,
Hmm.
it's fully yours and everything's in alignment. And so that traditional yoga and Australia and all these other trends that are going on around. So tell me how you evolved the schedule
Yeah, so
while
I'm
still
still
keeping
blessed.
it true to you.
Yeah, so I'm still blessed that I'm in Australia and not USA. Because USA have a different yoga world altogether. I would have not coped up with that at all. I would have gone back to India actually. So I'm still fortunate that I'm in Australia, and the good thing of Australia is that yes, we have these trends and fancy stuff and Lululemon pants here, but at the same time, we also have people who are inclined towards traditional yoga or inclined towards deeper studies and learnings. So we still have those. So we have like two kind of population. One is doing their trendy things, and
Yeah.
one is still looking for
Yeah.
grounded practices.
Yeah.
So what I have learned through all these years being in Australia for 10 plus years now is that ignorance is the bliss. So I just ignore that.
Yeah. And just keep
I go
focusing on what you do.
and keep focusing on, because if there is a saying that if you get irritated with each scratch, how you gonna cross the jungle? So
Mm,
I
that's
if I
true.
get, yeah, if I get irritated with everything they put out there as a fad or as a fashion or whatever they want to call it, how I'm gonna focus on my work?
Yeah.
So that took me a while. When I was a freelancer, I was like a tweety person, always going and answering on Facebook groups to people and challenging their thoughts or whatever. But I stopped doing all that together because my energy, my focus needed to be on the what I am offering. So I changed the timetable, started offering some more options like slow flow. I changed the name, so everything was called as everyday yoga, morning, evening, 90 minutes. So that used to be the timetable. So I changed it to different teachers' styles name. Like what I teach, I call it as Hatha Yoga. We have level 1, level 2. What Vinyasa classes, Vinyasa teachers comes and teaches the Vinyasa classes. The Yin teacher comes and teaches the restorative classes. So I identified the styles of the teachers and put them as different class. So that made a big difference in the timetable. And then last year we did the rebranding because the logo
Yeah.
and everything
Let's
was.
talk about that. We left the rebranding for a long time. We kind of,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
So
you held me back,
I
and
did.
which was good.
Yeah, because we focused on the core of the business,
Yes.
for sure. And then when it was time and extra money are in that we had, when I first met you, your website
Yes.
was, now people probably will remember these sites, but there was a trend in the, I would say, late 80s, 90s that was, it looked like a Zen Buddhist burgundy style.
Yeah.
Right. And so it was very, very dated. And there was mass amounts of content. And I think it was one of those projects we'd left because it was such a big, we thought it was going to be such a big undertaking because there was so much legacy content there. But you, honestly, you became a mini marketer. You have revamped your entire website, revamped your logo, which looks fantastic now.
Yeah, I love
that took us a little while of back and forth thing, right? And she really used me on that. She saved herself a lot of money with design agencies. Revamped your website, simplified the website, simplified the customer journey. You learned how to do signage and boards, and you learned how to do Google ads. You learned how to do Facebook ads and call to actions and real videos. And can you talk about that kind of, I feel like you took a lot on there, but now you have a fantastic brand that I feel you're very proud of now. I like even in your emails to me now, I was like looking at the bottom of your email, like she's like gone for it everywhere behind the desk, the signage, like it's been a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it's been a great actually with rebranding. I took it very slow.
Yeah.
The logo itself took 3 months to finalize.
Believe me, it took 3 months. I'm like, give me that Canva document.
And one of the reason was because the logo designer and I was like, she was unwell and I was on holidays, and then so it took and then of course the approval from Michael has to go forward. So I will finalize, send it to Michael, and then Michael will find out something else into that. And I'm like, Michael, I'm really hesitant now to ask for that. And he will give me confidence. No, you have to. You don't have any other choice. You have to change this, and then we will change it out. So the font came very nicely. The colors came very nicely, and the peacock. I just love those feathers of peacock.
Yeah, and it's meaningful to you. Like everything feels like meaningful to you. Come on, stand up in that T-shirt. If you're on YouTube, you can see the logo.
Oh no,
is that the logo? Oh, is that the old logo?
Right,
okay,
yeah, old one. Yeah, the new one I have here. Yeah.
Yeah, what a journey. You've like a whole I feel like you're a totally different, and I'm not putting it to me. I'm talking, it's really about the work we've done together. You put the time in to do it.
So another thing is like if you take over an old business and you think of rebranding, I think holding back is good, especially if it's a old running studio, because people know it with the name, so I did not change the name because it's been for many, many years, and I think it's a good name, so I did not change it.
Yeah.
Like most of the Indian friends of mine ask, "Oh, why don't you rename it to something like,
Yeah.
some Vani Yoga, maybe?" I'm like, no, I don't want to change it into Vani Yoga.
Well, and I think one of the nice things that, speaking about your Indian friends, is that, it took a while for you to put your traditional imprint on the studio, and you're able
Yeah.
to put, you know, your pictures and your paintings in there and your statues in there, and feel okay with that. But you've also brought events there, like dancing events and festivals into your
Mhm.
space,
Yes.
and bringing your community into your space too. And so I think, that's pretty amazing from, where you were hesitant to do that at first. And now it's like,
Yes, certainly there was a confusion because I wanted to have a balance. As I said, sometimes people do relate yoga with religion, which is not, the perspective. But of course, being a Hindu, I'm inclined towards few things which very much interlaced with yoga, and I did had that confusion that I don't want to give that impression to people that if I am doing it, you also have to do it. I'm doing it because that's how my background or my culture is, but it's not I'm expecting you to, do it. So that was my actually confusion that how much is not too much. So yes, I want to put it out there because few things are very, very necessary. I would say not necessary, but being from that perspective, being from a Hindu perspective, like having a deity of Ganesha is
yeah,
something which I have to put it there. So those were the confusions, and as we talked slowly with each other and you gave me that confidence that it's yours, and you whatever is your tradition and your values, you have to be very open to share with pure heart, not to let anyone down or force anyone, but with your open heart. And I think that really worked out fine.
yeah, you're amazing, Vanny. I'd say just
Yes.
hearing your story and, knowing all your successes, I'm just, I'm very grateful to know you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Michael. Yeah.
All right, we're almost at an hour here, or we're at an hour here. Few fun questions to end. Thank you for sharing your story so
Thank you,
much.
Michael. Yeah.
Um, something something about you that most people don't know.
Okay. People who know me for very long, they know about it maybe,
Yeah.
but people who know me just for past 10 or 12 years, they might not know this, that I used to do heavy gymming.
Oh, like
I was,
weightlifting.
yeah, I was quite, and I was lifting quite heavy according to girls
Ah,
that time, like 200 kilos, leg press kind of stuff.
ah,
And
cool.
I ran 2 marathons, half marathons.
Ah,
So I was like quite into fitness
ah.
mode. Yeah.
Oh. What's your go-to business tool or app?
Canva,
Yeah,
mm.
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, Canva,
Yeah.
yes. Mhm.
A website or app that you love just for fun.
Instagram Reels watching.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you were a yoga pose, which one and why?
Rakshas tree pose.
Ah, why?
Rooted
Yeah,
and always strong,
yeah.
spreading the branches and not getting afraid of storms and rain and hail and shine, always there.
Ah, beautiful. Vanny, there's a lot of yoga teachers and studio owners listen to this. One of the things, I always say to my studio owners is get your bread and butter working first. the classes, get all that. Then you do the add-ons, the teacher trainings and the retreats. And for the last couple of years, you and Kuldeep have been doing some amazing India retreats that I think our listeners would be interested in. You've got one coming up in 2026. And I saw the photos. It looks pretty amazing. Tell me what's different and special about it, and what are the dates, and then where can they find the info?
Okay, so info will be up on the website very soon, perhaps in the middle of this month. The next year dates are 4th of October to 17th October. We go to South India, Kerala, and we spend a week over there in total detoxification through Ayurveda treatments. Ayurveda is Indian medicine science. And this year I have experienced, last year I did not travel, only Kuldeep traveled. And this year I traveled myself, and the results, even though it's just 7 days, the results you carry back is amazing. Like I still feel those results in my overall wellness and well-being. Like when I came back from trip, everyone is like, your face is shining and you look very relaxed and happy. So those changes are is still staying longer with me with all that detoxification which has happened. That 7 days, after 7 days, we just travel a little bit to the ashrams and a little bit of shopping, adventure, and temples visits like that. So 7 days that, and 7 days of little bit of traveling around South India.
Yeah, looks amazing. It's on my list. It's on my list. Yeah, and where? So it's not on the website yet, but what's your email if anybody listening wants to inquire about that?
info@yogaspirit.com.au.
And her website is yogaspirit.com.au. And your Instagram is?
Yoga Spirit Adelaide.
And your personal one, do you want to share that?
Yes, absolutely. That's Yoga Sadhana with Vani.
I'll put it in the show notes.
Yes.
Vani, thank you for sharing your story of purchasing a studio, but like just an amazing journey with you, and to see you in this thriving studio ownership now. It's just been a pleasure being with you through this, and today too.
Thank you so much having me, Michael. And I still feel that, you have been an amazing mentor and friend. I can't thanks enough to you.
Thank you.
And what we have actually discussed is just the surface. We went more deeper to that.
I know. I was thinking there's so many. If we had 2 hours, I mean, we've had software transitions, automations. There's so many other things, but
Thank moving from calling to texting and all that stuff. So lots to. So it's been amazing being business owner, being yoga teacher. So thank you so much again for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in, champs. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to this channel. It means a lot. And if you're ready to open your own studio or grow your current one, visit yogabizchamp.link/YouTube to book your free strategy call with myself and explore my starter studio and grower studio packages. And you'll also get access to all of my free Yoga Biz Champ resources, yogabizchamp.link/YouTube. And you can check out other insights and follow me on all social media platforms at Yoga Biz Champ. See you next time.